High stat armor is extremely important for all builds in Destiny 2, so in this video I'll go over the best armor in the game and how to farm for it completely solo. Hi, I'm Marshix, and if you find this video helpful, leave a like. Before you do anything, make sure you have an armor ghost mod. This will ensure all armor will drop with a minimum of 10 points in whichever stat you choose, and it's more likely to drop even higher than that. So for example, if you're going for max resilience, throw in a resilience mod to get even more resilience on your armor. It's also worth mentioning that the maximum possible stat totals for armor are 68 on legendary pieces and 71 on exotics, before accounting for any mods or masterworks. People tell me those numbers are wrong all the time, but no one has ever shown proof. If you do have proof, feel free to share, but until then, I'm right. Now we can discuss every source of high stat armor, starting with the most common source, powerful and pinnacle drops. This includes just about every activity with the gold circle next to it. Most of these can be done solo or have matchmaking, and they have a chance to drop armor with a stat total of 60 or higher. A lot of people ignore powerful drops after reaching max power level, but if you are looking for good armor, you may want to take a few minutes every week to at least grab the easy ones. This also includes prime engrams, since they do drop powerful gear. They aren't guaranteed, but some of my best armor has come from prime engrams. Definitely worth keeping an eye out for them. All exotic armor tends to drop with a higher stat total, ranging anywhere from mid-50s all the way up to 71 total. This means legend and master lost sectors while solo are a solid place to farm for high stat armor. Nightfalls are also a good place to get exotics, but solo lost sectors let you farm for specific armor slots, which makes it way easier to get whichever exotic you need for your build. Xur can also sell high stat exotics, so be sure to check back every weekend in case he has something good. For a more consistent armor farm, you'll want to grind any of the next few sources. But first, this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes cooking delicious meals at home extremely easy. You pick from a variety of meals, then in less than a week, you'll receive fresh, pre-measured ingredients with easy-to-follow recipes. You can skip the grocery store and take control of your time and budget with delicious recipes delivered right to your door. Each meal has foolproof, step-by-step recipes that make for an easy and enjoyable cooking experience. Trust me, if I can do this, anyone can. With HelloFresh, eating well in the new year can be stress-free and delicious. With over 35 weekly recipes, they have the options you're looking for to help you achieve your goals. With options like Calorie Smart and Carb Smart recipes. Or you could even customize certain meals by swapping proteins or sides. I've tried dozens of these meals and I've enjoyed each and every one of them. Use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGMARSHIXJanuary21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. Be sure to try it now so you don't miss this huge deal. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. First up is the Witch Queen campaign, specifically the weekly mission that you unlock at rank 13 with Finch. These can drop armor from any difficulty, but the higher the level, the better the chances of getting it. You'll also be getting Ascendant alloys at the same time, so this is a good way to multitask. If you're playing solo, go with hero difficulty for faster runs with a match-made team, or if you already have a team, grind out masters for the better drop rates. Just be sure to kill all champions that spawn throughout the mission, or else you won't get the full rewards. Empire hunts can drop high stat armor in the exact same way as campaign missions. Any difficulty can drop it, but the higher the level, the higher the drop rate. The main thing that sets them apart from Witch Queen missions is that they're faster, and instead of getting Ascendant alloys on the side, you get enhancement cores and prisms, which just so happens to be the materials you need to upgrade your high stat armor. And once again, be sure to take out all the champions to get the full drop rates. An easy and somewhat passive way to get high stat armor is through the seasonal vendors in the Helm. Each of these allows you to focus Umbral engrams into armor from that season. These vendors have upgrades that turn that into high stat armor, and most of them have ways to earn Umbral energy through basically every activity. A way to passively get Umbral energy just by playing the game. You can then take that Umbral energy and focus your Umbrals into high stat armor, and you can even choose which armor pieces you want. Now, the best way to get high stat armor is from dungeons. Those being Shattered Throne, Prophecy, Grasp of Avarice, Duality, Spire of the Watcher, and the best one of all, Pit of Heresy. All dungeons can drop armor with 60 plus stat totals, but the final boss of Pit drops high stat armor with 2 guaranteed spikes. This is extremely important for double, triple, or even quadruple 100 stat builds. And the best part of all is that you can farm Pit of Heresy on weeks where it's the featured dungeon for an unlimited amount of high stat armor. All of these dungeons can be soloed, and I actually have solo guides for all of them linked in the description. If you do decide to farm dungeons, it helps to get a boss checkpoint first, then pass it to a friend or a second account so you can keep the checkpoint and run it over and over. You can also farm the master versions of Grasp of Avarice, Duality, or Spire of the Watcher for Artifice armor, which has an extra mod slot. However, this is a lot harder than normal mode, so you'll definitely want a team if you're farming it. Another way to get 2 guaranteed spikes on armor is through master raids. This will drop stat focused armor, which works with your ghost mod. For instance, if the raid armor is resilience focused, you can use a discipline mod to get both of those stats. There is one exception though. Armor stats are divided into 2 groups, the top 3 and the bottom 3. If you do this trick to focus 2 stats, they'll need to be in different groups or else one will override the other. Master raids obviously can't be soloed, but I thought I'd mention it since it's the best way to get stat specific armor. For PvP players, a good way to get high stat armor is through Trials of Osiris. Any armor from Trials can have 60 plus stats, whether it be from Trials engrams or by purchasing armor from Saint 14 directly. You can also get good armor from Iron Banner by completing matches, ranking up Saladin, focusing Iron engrams, or from the Iron Banner challenges in the directory. High stat armor isn't the only thing you need to make a good build though. It's also important to upgrade and modify your gear to perfect your character. First is masterworking. You can masterwork your armor to give a +2 in each stat for a +12 overall for each piece. And certain mods are able to increase your stats by a lot. The most common mods are the general stat mods that increase any stat by 10 points. But there are also 2 other mods that don't fall into this category. First is Radiant Light. When you have this equipped alongside another arc mod, you'll get +20 strength. Same thing with Powerful Friends. This will give you a +20 to mobility when paired with another arc mod. And since they're both arc, they can activate each other. If you ever have extra room on your armor, there's no reason not to run these. 801 occasionally sells these mods, so check back every day if you don't have them. And let's not forget the retrofit artifact mods that also increase your mobility and resilience by 5 points. Now that's a beautiful piece of armor. Another way to get additional stats is through subclasses. Certain fragments are able to add stat points. On Solar, these are Ember of Beams, Combustion, Char, Eruption, Wonder, and Searing. Arc has Spark of Resistance, Feedback, Volts, and Brilliance. Void has Echo of Expulsion, Leeching, Domineering, Dilation, Instability, and Obscurity. And Stasis has Whisper of Durance, Shards, Chains, and Conduction. I wouldn't use any of these just for the stats, but they're a welcome addition for the ones that you do want to use. But it doesn't stop there. There are a ton of ways to get invisible stats that make it possible to get 100s in every stat. But you'll have to check out this video to see how. Thanks for watching, I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.